Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of the Sitrep podcast. I'm your host, Risky Jim, and I am joined one more time by my friend Dylan. Mr. Dylan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon.
Yeah, right. It's like what, 7 o'clock in the morning where you're at over there in
beautiful 7 o'clock, nice and sunny. It's great.
Nice. Yeah, the weather's gorgeous here as well. It's the wrong kind of day to be doing wargaming, but nevertheless, here we are. Because obviously, as you've seen with our Op Centers episodes that we've been rolling out recently on Sitrep Podcast, we are in the midst of the 30th anniversaries of the first Gulf War, or Desert Storm, or whatever you want to call it, and January 16th Western General Time Zones, January 17th local time zones. It was probably about midday on January 17th over where you are, Dylan. Was the actual, to the minute 30th anniversary of the beginning of Desert Storm. This was 0243 hours local time, 17 January 1991, and yeah, that's where we started the big air campaign against Iraq. Obviously, everyone's seen the CNN footage. Everyone knows what was going on in that war. If you don't know what was going on in that war, I can recommend a couple of great videos on YouTube you can go check out, called The Op Center by this weirdo named Ariskany. But in all seriousness, today we're going to try AirWar C21, and we're going to take a look at some of the air combat that actually did take place during the Gulf War. So, the particular mission that we're doing today centers around a remote airfield in western Iraq called H3. That's literally the name of it. It was bombed by the Israelis as far back as 1967, part of the Six-Day War. This has been a long time, sort of a western outpost for the Iraqi Air Force, placed where it is so that it can threaten potential enemies in Saudi Arabia and Syria. Yes, Iraq does have problems with those two countries. Of course, Israel, throughout the 67 and 73 wars. It's a pretty major strategic feature, but it is literally out in the middle of nowhere. Even the French weren't going this far out west on the extreme left wing of Desert Storm, and those guys were rolling 1d6 on the encounter random Jawas table. I mean, that's how deep they were out in the middle of friggin' nowhere. That desert is not at all like the deserts you see in North Africa World War II or the Arab-Israeli wars. It's nothing like that. This is the kind of desert those guys tried to avoid. This desert would scare the long-range desert group in the SAS back in World War II. It is, I've seen photographs of it. You might as well be on the surface of the moon. But it's way out there in the middle of nowhere just for that purpose, so that it can threaten, you can see on the little strategic map here, it can threaten targets all over the place. The reason the coalition was interested in the Gulf War, if I can get my stupid tool to work, is their line was set up mostly kind of like this. It pretty much ended right about here. So we have, I won't go through all the forces, but yeah, you have major forces here: Joint Command South, Joint Forces Command North. The Marines were here. 7 Corps was here. That was the huge punch. And then 18th Corps was here. That was 82nd Airborne, 101st Airborne Air Assault, 6th Light Armored French, the Dago Division, if I'm saying that right. And so this part of the battle here was going to fix the Iraqis in place, because this is where most of the Iraqis were kind of staged. Okay, 7 Corps was going to deliver the main left hook that we've all seen countless videos of and documentaries and so on, and 18th Corps was going to cover their wing. So part of what 18th Corps was doing was sending the 101st Air Assault. These are the guys that were sort of the grandsons of the Band of Brothers TV series. The entire division, like 15, 18, maybe up to 20,000 people, are airlifted at once in what was at the time the largest air assault in history. I'm not talking about paratroopers or gliders, I'm talking about helicopters. It was the largest single helicopter-borne assault in history at the time. And they were setting up entire bases hundreds of miles behind the Iraqi lines that 7th Corps would find waiting for them. So these guys would be advancing toward their supplies rather than away from their supplies. This was an idea that Guderian had as far back as 1941 for the invasion of Russia. but it wouldn't work in 1941. It was working in 1991. The reason I go into all this is because, again, with so many helicopters and fuel trucks and soft targets and danger, very, very vulnerable, logistic, squishy stuff all up in the air at once, the absolute last thing the coalition needed was a major Iraqi air base here on their left wing. So that's the importance of today's target. The two F-15s that the U.S. Air Force is scrambling out of Saudi Arabia, they're taking this flight path here. Okay, they're going to cut towards Baghdad to sort of, throw off any predictions that any remaining Iraqi radar sites and ground control sites or anything like that could possibly, predict. And then once they cross the border and they get into the open desert, they're going to dogleg back and head for their real target. Meanwhile, there's a U.S. Navy guided missile cruiser, USS San Jacinto, CG-56, actually fired the first U.S. Navy shots of the Gulf War, 17 January 1991, with Tomahawk cruise missiles. They're going to be launching Tomahawk cruise missiles into today's battle area, so we're going to have a little bit of support there for the Air Force, a little bit of U.S. Navy, U.S. Air Force cooperation in today's game. Okay, here is our map for today's game. Again, it's pretty much just a random patch of the extreme west Iraqi desert. Like, you might as well film this on Tatooine. I mean, it really is the middle of nowhere. It is not Israel, it is not Libya, it is not Egypt, it is deep, deep desert. How about Arrakis? Arrakis or Tatooine? That's the kind of terrain we're talking about here. Okay, this is the H3 airstrip and the hangars, the hardened concrete hangars that the Americans are going to be going for. We have a target for how hard they are to bomb. If I can have it show up there. Oh, it already is. Okay, sorry. It is defended by two batteries of SA-8 Geckos. These are the famous Warthog killers. This is what gave A-10 pilots nightmares in the 1980s, was the Soviet SA-8 Gecko. More than the Shilka, more than most other Soviet ground defense, is the SA-8. This thing is pretty scary. It is short range though. It has a range of 16 inches. The grid here is an inch per grid square. There's another battery over here. I should say it's not a battery. It's literally one vehicle. The blue dot shows its exact location because obviously the vehicle is not to scale with the map. And we have we have one mount of ZU-23-2 23mm autocannons. These are the same cannons that are on the Shilka that you've all seen in Team Yankee. It's just the Shilka carries 4 of them and they're radar guided. These are not radar guided and there's only 2 of them. Hence 23-2. So ZSU is the self-propelled version, 23 is the caliber of the weapon, -4 is the number of guns. These jumbles of letters and numbers actually do make some kind of sense. Alright. And the Iraqis also have 2 MiG-29s coming in with average pilots. They can enter in from anywhere in this red band. Okay. Meanwhile, down here we have the Americans. The Americans only have those 2 F-15s, and that's all. They do have good pilots rather than average pilots, and the F-15 is a pretty badass aircraft, especially back in 1991. They were already 10 or 15 years old at this point, the F-15C variant specifically, but still very, very scary aircraft. They are a little hobbled at the start just because there's no... because they're carrying bombs. And when you're carrying external bombs on your pylons, you're limited to about Mach 1. If you go faster than the speed of sound, the bombs will literally fall off the plane. But once they release those bombs, and they can release their bombs wherever they want. If they want to jettison their bombs early so they can fight better, then hey, or if one of them wants to release their bombs and the other one can dogfight with the Iraqis or whatever, who knows? That's up to the American player. The American player also has cruise missiles coming in from off the table, depending on when depending on the luck with their die roll. This die roll is your standard kind of a Flames of War model, where it's a pretty shallow chance. It's not shallow; it's like 50-50 chance on the first turn, but then it gets progressively better and better and better. And what you're going to wind up with is pretty much, by the time you get to turn 3 or 4, you're going to have cruise missiles just falling out of the sky and hitting some of these targets. I know it makes the most military sense for the Tomahawk to actually hit the hangars. That's what they were really shooting at in real life, was to hit the main Iraqi targets, as opposed to these little geckos and these little, ZU 23-4s or 23-2s. The problem is, from a game design perspective, that would give the Americans a victory with a random die roll that just kind of falls out of the sky. So it doesn't quite make 100% sense from a historical perspective, but we have to make it fit into a game. So that's the only thing in this particular scenario that's a little weird. The Tomahawk should be shooting at the H3 hangars, and then the F-15 should be taking out all these little ground sites. Here we're kind of reversing that, but that's mostly for the sake of game design. And we sort of decided before the stream, Dylan and I were talking, and Dylan is going to be playing the Americans because of a random die roll that we did. Group these together and move to the back, please. There we go. Cool. Dylan, I think you did offer to play the Iraqis if you wanted to. I don't want the audience to think that you're always hogging the Western powers in these games.
No, I'm cool. In pretty much every game I ever play, we just roll off, and then that's how people pick. Tabletop on here, yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with our game now that we've gone through all. In case anyone is kind of interested, we do have an F-15. I think this is an F-15 Strike Eagle after all. I said earlier that it might not be. It's really hard to tell. Actually, I take that back. This is an F-15. I think it's a C. There's the gun. The gun is kind of inside the wing root there, and it's got, you see this little smoke stain that's outside of that extra vent that isn't on this side? That's the gun. That's the M61 Vulcan Gun. And I'm pretty sure that the F-15E Strike Eagle has 2 guns. It's the ground attack version of the F-15. That's what the Air Force wanted instead of, the Air Force generals wanted instead of the A-10 before the Gulf War. The Air Force didn't want the A-10 before the Gulf War. They didn't think it was sexy enough. I'm actually not kidding about that. All you have to do is look at where the A-10s were being assigned in the 1980s. Every time people put A-10s on their Team Yankee tables, I just kind of shake my head a little bit. I'm like, did they fly here all the way from Alaska? They were not a big deal in the Air Force before Desert Storm. In fact, they were being retired. Desert Storm, however, yeah, big time. They were all A-10s before the Gulf War were being sent back to Air National Guard and Air Force Reserve regiments back in the States, and they had stopped production. And what the Air Force, what we call the fighter mafia, it's this little clique of generals that were pretty much running the Air Force in the late 80s, and they had all come up from fighter squadrons in their younger years, and it was, look, you know what, we're not getting this big, ugly, stupid, fat turkey of a, they literally call it the Warthog. That wasn't, well, it's Thunderbolt too, but nicknamed the Warthog. It was not a complimentary nickname at first. They called it the Warthog because it was that friggin' ugly. And what they were going to replace it with, like, okay, look, if we have to have a strike plane, we're going to have the F-15E Strike Eagle. Because look at it, it's gorgeous, and it can shoot down MiGs. Of course, the Gulf War changed a lot of people's thinking about the A-10. There were people who knew the A-10 was great in the 80s. I remember reading the books and magazine articles. Yes, I'm that old. However, they weren't in positions of power in the Air Force. We have a MiG-29 here in authentic Iraqi markings. How in the world did I possibly find an Iraqi MiG-29 in Iraqi markings? Well, that's a rendered image from DCS World, because there are no photographs of, or I should say no good photographs, of MiG-29s in Iraqi markings, because I don't think any of them survived the war, or very few of them did. And this is the Gecko. That's what you got to watch out for. That is the other A-10 killer. That thing's a beast. Each vehicle carries 6 missiles, so we are keeping track of their ammunition. They don't get stupid dangerous until you get close. Then they're going to start launching 2 missiles a turn. There's 2 vehicles, so there could potentially be 4 of those coming at you per turn, and they lock on a 3+ and they hit on a 6+ on a D10. So yeah, watch out for those guys. All right, cool. So I'll go ahead and get this going here.
One quick question.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, Mike.
Are you still there?
Yeah, sorry, the dogs.
Or did the dog eat you? He sounds hungry.
With the Vulcan you talked about, is that the same gun that's on the VATS?
Yes, it is the M61 Vulcan Gun. It is a 6-barrel 20mm weapon. I think General Electric used to produce it, or Hughes, or I don't know. There's probably a bunch of companies involved in it. Yeah, the U.S. Air Force, actually the U.S. military, is in love with the M61, and they've been that way since Vietnam. That's the same gun that's in the Phalanx CIWS system that's on all the U.S. Navy warships. It's in almost all American fighters, if not two of them. They're on the AC-130 Spectre gunship. They're on friggin' everything. They're on the VADS. Yeah, they love it. It's the same basic gun. They just hook up a different radar and a different ammunition feed system to it, and that's pretty much what they have. The only time we don't use the Vulcan is when we can't fit it. Like helicopters, I think, have a 3-barreled, I think it's a 25 or 30mm gun system, or something like that. Or if we want a really big gun, where we put the 7-barreled 30mm GAU-8 Avenger, like in the A-10. That gun weighs 1,900 pounds. No, it's like 19 feet long, and it weighs like 3 tons or something like that. They literally had to build the plane around the gun. Yeah, that thing's a beast.
Nice.
Okay, so now we've gotten all of our little setup, and Rasmus and Vorpal are on YouTube. Oh no, I am missing people on YouTube. Hello, Rasmus and Vorpal. Hello again. Okay, Meatloaf again. Mideast Air War. Okay, are you listening to Meatloaf, or are you calling my stream? Are you calling my stream Meatloaf? You are an Air Force and Dauntless by Avalon Hill player. I have tried Dauntless. I've never tried Air Force. Although that was way back in the day, Vorpal Bite. Hello, Rasmus. Welcome, welcome. F-15 versus MiG-29. That's a hot contest. Too hot for me to call. It is. They are pretty close. The MiG-29 is pretty much accepted as the equal to the F-16. Now, these are F-15s. So, bigger, heavier, faster in a straight line, although he can't really take advantage of that with his bomb load. So he may actually be at a slight disadvantage plane to plane. He does have 2 advantages. He has better pilots than I do. I'm playing the Iraqis. And he has cruise missile support coming in from the U.S. Navy. That is USS San Jacinto in the Red Sea is launching cruise missiles. That's San Jacinto's position right there. It's launching cruise missiles into the battle area right now. Let's see what else is going on here. As I understand, no F-15 has ever been shot down by enemy forces by any country. Not sure. I know no F-15s were lost in the ground war. Were lost in the Gulf War. I know that for sure. But I'm not sure about it, because a lot of people use F-15s now. So, and you know, a lot of people use F-15s. So you're probably right. I just don't know. I'm not disputing what you're saying. Vorpal, I just don't. I don't have the facts lined up, you know, in front of me. Historical editor of the Sitrep podcast cannot say things like that lightly. Someone's gonna wiki snipe me from out of left field, and that's gonna be that. All right, let's go ahead and kick this pig. Go ahead, please, and give me a D10 for initiative for each of your aircraft, please. Speaking of which, I should probably get some dice going, huh? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and roll a D10 for both of my aircraft. I've got the 2 MiG-29s. Oh, God, a 2 and a 5. We're off to a hell of a start.
8 and a 8. 2 8s.
Okay, 2 and a 5, and an 8 and an 8. Okay, that's going to make it easy. Both my planes scored worse than you did, so both my planes will go first. Okay, we're coming on at 12. Again, Iraqis can enter from anywhere on the red band. Alright, MiG-29s 1 and 2 coming in on, what looks like a 135 roughly, straight out of the northwest. Okay, over to you. You can enter from anywhere along that blue band there in the lower right.
I'm going to enter just above the number 7 there.
Okay.
And go straight north the full distance.
Well, what's your speed? You can go anywhere from your stall speed. Your stall speed is 5. It's 6 as long as you have these bombs. And your maximum speed, I think, is 26. It's like Mach 2.5. But again, with these bombs, your maximum speed is 12.
Yeah, I think I'll go with 12.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Yeah, full speed, especially when you got F-15s. That's not a light. That's not something you say lightly. When you say full speed or the full distance, you have to like be kind of specific. Alrighty,
yeah.
That was easy enough. Cool. Nice. I think I see what you did there. Oh wait, you know what I can do? I have this new fancy tool that might make it go a little faster. I do have you in missile arc. Barely. Okay, cool. And also I'm in your missile arc. Okay, never mind. I don't know what you were doing. No worries. Which leads me to the next part of the turn. Okay, F-15 Eagle is good. Oh, sorry, turn sequence. Oh, yeah, no one was playing any maneuvers. A test for maneuvers. Resolved missiles. Last phase, launch new missiles. Okay, no one had any missiles in the air. Resolved missiles from last phase. Launch new missiles. Where is the lock-on check? Okay, it doesn't matter, I guess. I guess we're doing that now. Okay, do any of my missiles have range on you? First of all, what is the range between our aircraft? This might all be much ado about nothing. That's 24. Oh, jeez. So, roughly speaking, I'm just going to, this is a very rough measurement, obviously. We're looking at about 30 inches. Does anyone even have anything that shoots that far? Yes, your Sparrows do. Your Sparrows are in range. So are my Alamos. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and try to lock on with my AA-10 Alamos. That's all target aspect. They're radar guided, so I have to roll my aircraft's radar. Aircraft's radar is MiG-29. Radar is +4. L. Sorry guys, I gotta look something up here.
While you're doing that, Jim, I was going through the cupboard the other day just looking for a glass to drink out of, and I glanced and I thought I saw a little helicopter and a little aiming thing. Like, I don't have a Sitrep mug, but apparently I do. So
oh my god.
Thanks to whoever sent me that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, someone must have unpacked it and just put it in the cupboard, but yeah, got an awesome Sitrep mug. It's good. It's got a big handle on it. It's nice. You can put an entire beer in there, which is good. So
that's always a plus. A key design feature. Come on. I'm trying to see what that L means. Did you run across that in your read through of the rules? What the L means in the radar rating?
Was it a range thing? Was it?
Yeah, like a long range. I'm gonna go through the super fast guys, and then I'm just gonna call it because I don't want to slow down I don't want to slow down the stream here. Oh my god. See, +2L. I don't know what the L means.
Was it a lock-on thing where if you get it, you stay with it until you lose it? Is it that?
Don't know.
So you only have to roll it once, and then.
Oh, there it is. Radar range is limited to 60 degrees unless the radar has an L listed after its lock number, in which case the range is unlimited. Range is limited to 60 inches. Oh god, the whole table's not 6 inches. Okay, we found it. Alright, cool, never mind. Yay. Alright, cool. So, 4 plus. Okay. That's not so hot. Not so hot at all. That can't be right. Because yours is even worse. Yours is 2. But I don't think too many of your planes... Yeah, your Sparrows need the planes radar. That can't be right. That cannot be right. That's something... There's something I'm doing wrong there. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta look. If we get this wrong and then we go through half the game and we don't have it right, it's gonna screw something up. Oh boy. Missile locks. Oh, if the result equals or exceeds the target number. Sorry. No wonder. Dude, your missile kicks ass. That 2 plus means you have to roll above a 2. I have to roll above a 4. I'm thinking you have to roll a 1 or a 2 to lock on. Because I was looking at this 5 plus for the stupid ass, which we're not using in this game, the Mirage. I'm like, how is a Mirage radar better than an Eagle's radar? I mean, hello, I have the whole game backwards. Sorry. Alright, so I have to roll 4 or less. Minus your ECM rating. ECM rating for the US Air Force F-15 is a -1. So your ECM is already kind of blinding my radar a little bit. So I have to roll 2 3 pluses because both planes are going to try and make this lock on, is the long and short of it. So 2 D10s, I'm looking for a 1 through a 3. That's a 2, that's 1, and a 6. 1 locks on, 1 doesn't. So 1 medium range air-to-air missile is away. I have to declare which one that's going for, and then it's going for number 2, just to make things easier. I am within your frontal 60-degree arc, which is going to provide me a penalty when it comes time to hit, but 1 missile is away. Okay, over to you. I don't think your sidewinders are even close to being in range, but both of your both of your AIM-7 Sparrows. Let me get that plane locked on. And then from your dot to that, see where that missile arc is defined on the wheel?
Yep.
Yeah, you are totally. Oh boy. Trying to do too many things at once here, guys. Sorry. Yep, looks like both of them are in range. So are you guys going to try and lock on with missiles? And if so, which one?
Yep, I'll do the 1 Sparrow from each onto the right-hand plane.
Okay, I have your missiles are 2 plus to lock on, unlimited range. My ECM is 0, so yeah, you have to not roll a 1 on 2 D10s.
A 9 and a 2.
All right, cool. So 1 almost didn't lock on, but you got both of them locked on. And I'm sorry, did you say which MiG you were going after? 1 or 2?
The one on the right. So
1 on the right. That's going to be number 1. Cool. That's not good news for me. No. Oh, also we are on the. See what the Navy's up to. On the Resolve missiles last phase. Oh, we're not there yet. Oh yeah, we've already passed that phase. Okay, roll 1d6. Multiply by the turn number. It's 1, so you roll. Yeah, you get 1d6. You're looking for a 4-up.
A 3.
A 3. The Navy has no cruise missiles coming in this turn. Alright, no worries. We've launched our missiles. Going by the turn sequence here. There's no air-to-air gun. There's no ground fire yet. Or is there? Those geckos are not nearly close enough yet. 16 inches. Nope. Those geckos are no ground fire yet. There's no strafing attacks, no assist damage, no stall recovery, no excess speed. Be careful of ordnance loads. Alright, cool. That's going to be it for turn 1. That was quick. Or I should say phase 1 of turn 1. For some reason, AirWar C21 has this thing where it's 2 phases in a turn. I do believe we keep initiative. Okay, yeah, phase 1. Yep, we have to re-roll initiative per phase. Each turn consists of 2 phases. Okay, just making sure we do it right, because AirWar C21 is not one of my weird kit-bashed games. It's actually a real game that you can buy, and I want to make sure that we're doing the system correctly. Okay, so I'm going to roll for my initiative. 9 and an 8, much better this time. Okay, 2d10s for your initiative. Dylan, are you still there?
Sorry, I muted. 2 1s. 2 1s.
Oh my god. Are you feeling sorry for me, or did you really roll 2 1s?
2 1s, no. It's better than rolling them for the missile lock-ons, though, so I'm kind of happy.
Okay, yeah, that would have been a bad time to roll 2 1s right there. Alrighty. Okay, so let's actually... Now we're going to do things a little bit more carefully. Apply speed changes. Oh, we actually should have done that. Are you speeding up or slowing down at all?
No, I'm going to stay where I am. Yep.
I can increase my speed by a certain amount. Sorry. I can increase my speed by... We're in the second phase. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. This is a little thing to look out for in AirWar C21. You have, don't worry about these 2 columns, or these 2 rows. You can increase by 4 on the first phase of the turn and only 3 on the second phase of the turn. So we're now on the second phase of the turn, so I'm going to increase my speed by 3. That's basically the game's way of saying, oh, the velocity or the amount that an aircraft can change its speed, can accelerate, should really be 3.5, and they don't want to get into that.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and go to, what did I say, 3? So I'm going up to 15. I broke the sound barrier. Okay. Speed in this game, guys, is very, very rough. We have kind of a logarithmic scale, so be careful. You know, take everything I say here with a grain of salt. Speed is roughly 50 knots per inch of movement. So I'm doing roughly 700 miles an hour. And again, I say I broke the sound barrier, but again, what actual Mach is depends on your altitude. This game doesn't try to be a flight simulator. But Mach 1 is usually in this game considered to be 12. Again, depending on what altitude we're at. At low altitude, Mach is much faster, but it doesn't matter. Let me check, see what's going on here in Mr. Chat. Iraq is going to lose. Probably, now that I see how the radar actually works. But you're probably right about that. Can the cruise missiles be shot down? That is a negative. Certainly not by the Iraqis. Not with the technology they had in 1991. Those Tomahawks were ferocious. The reason the game, again, it's like most Gulf War games, Rasmus. Yes, those two F-15s are going to wipe the floor with everything that the Iraqis have on the table, more or less, but the Iraqis have a lot of it, and the Iraqis have to get lucky just once. One of those aphids, or one of those Alamos, goes up the tailpipe of one of those F-15s. That is game over, Iraqi victory. Go ahead and table me if you want, I don't care. Dylan cannot lose a plane. If he loses a plane, he loses the game. Nice and simple. Hence, he has all these other advantages to counterbalance that. Asymmetrical gaming as usual. Missile controllers got lately. Well, dude, I mean, they're firing from hundreds of miles away, man. I mean, they're firing from the Red Sea down here. Who knows how long it takes those Tomahawks to get there? But they're on their way. I'm sure he'll get a hit eventually. All the missiles on the same flight path. See, the missile controllers got lazy. Oh wait, during the night raids, plenty of cruise missiles got shot down. Really? I did not know that. Seems the missile controllers got lazy and sent the missiles on the same flight path, and the Republican Guard started to figure this out. And, yeah, those missiles have terrain-following radar. Or terrain-following guidance. I think they're satellite guided by GPS, which was a brand new thing in those days. So I did not know that. I don't know how you're going to shoot down a Tomahawk with like, you're talking about like chain guns, like ZU-23-2, stuff like that? Because he didn't have anything like the Patriot, any kind of anti-ballistic missile system at all. A full beer or 3 cups of coffee. Oh, you're talking about a Stein? Dylan, were you talking about a Stein or like an actual coffee cup?
No, it's the Sitrep mug with the big handle on it. It's kind of like a coffee cup, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. Alrighty. So now we've got initiative going. We got our our speed changes declared. Now is when we should have rolled initiative. Okay, are you going to pick any maneuvers?
No, I'm taking a look at them, and I don't think I need to do any right now.
Okay, well, I mean, it's fine for turn 1, but because again, we kind of screwed up the turn sequence on this first one. We're supposed to have these kind of declared before we roll initiative. But what I'm going to do, now that you said in other words, if you're not going to pick anything, don't tell your opponent, because your opponent still doesn't know. But I'm just going to go ahead and say I am taking 2. What did I say? I'm taking 2 implements. If you couldn't guess that by my dump and afterburner speed. So that's partly why I increased my speed, so I can execute an implement here. Okay, so no worries. Alrighty. Alright, so I'll put on 2 Iraqi implements. Well, I'll just put on 1 since both planes are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You guys know what's up. Alright, now in real AirWar C21, guys, this is done with a card mechanic. It's just hard to do a card mechanic here in a virtual setting. So both players put down a card face down, and it's either a maneuver tile or it's a fake out tile. Like if you're not playing any maneuver, just put down the fake out one. And then they're both revealed after initiative is normally rolled. Okay, so now we've gone ahead and done our place maneuver cards. We rolled initiative, test for maneuvers. Okay, well now we do our movement phase. You both lost initiative, so you're both moving first.
Okay.
You are a high maneuver. You can turn out to the H on your turn wheel. I'll zoom in a little bit. The MiG-29s are extreme. MiG-29s are very maneuverable, which is good for me.
I'm going to rotate to the M on the left, and both will go 12.
Okay, cool. So the way a normal turn works for everyone in the chat is, okay, you take a look at whatever your speed is for the moment. You've already kind of declared it. You move half your distance, then you execute one of your turns. You move the other half of your distance, and you execute your other turn. So okay, these hash marks on our turning wheel are scaled to the grid, so we know what's what. He moves forward 6, Realign the turning wheel. Putting the base of the turning wheel right on the blue dot where the plane actually is. Lining up the tail, lining up the nose. Turns, you said to M?
To the left, yep.
Oh,
the M to...
other way. I thought you were flying to Baghdad. Oh my god! He takes the other half of his movement. This is so much easier on my new computer. Trying to do this on my old Windows 7 machine was just like... The streams were painful to watch afterwards. Okay, and now you can turn M again. It does not have to be the same direction.
I'll go 1L to the right. So just little kink to the right.
Or I should say you can go all the way to the H. You can always turn up to your maneuverability class.
Yep.
Alright, are both planes doing that?
No, the other one will do something else.
Okay, cool. It's now his turn since you both lost initiative.
Yep. So he will go, well, he'll do his 6 inches straight forward.
Yep.
Another 6 straight forward.
They're splitting up.
And then he'll turn to the M on the left.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do my test now for my, now it's over to my turn. I'm going to do a test now for my Immelmans. Okay, MiG number 1 is an average pilot. I don't get a bonus. I am a high-powered aircraft, so I get the lower target number. That gives me a 6+. Here's the long and short of it. Barely, oh, I said a 6+. He fails. God damn, here we go again. Remember that that F4 versus MiG-17 battle we had? I couldn't make a single roll the whole game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We're off and running on another one of those. Is it too late to say my guys are good pilots too? Otherwise he would have made that. Alright, MiG-29 number 2. Oh my god, they both failed.
Oh no.
Alright, this is going to be a short game, everybody. Alright, a failed Immelman is...
Yeah, there is penalties for failing the maneuvers. That's why I didn't try one, because I knew that I'd fail it. Because 2 1s for initiative.
Speed reduced by 6. Yeah, that's why I... So my speed is immediately reduced by 6, but that's okay. That's why I dumped fuel in my afterburner before the action. Even a successful Immelman, you lose a little bit of speed. Let me get a smaller turn wheel here. Easier to handle. Exactly half, so that's 7.5. I'll just go ahead and do them both.
Yep.
Okay, since they both did the same thing and they both failed. Here's where I sadly need a D12 for my random direction. Okay, MiG number 1 is facing at 11 o'clock. Oh, that's not terrible at all. Look at that. I literally just presented my sexy ass to you. Oh god. Why do I play AirWar C21? I forgot how much I hate this game.
Oh,
and
no.
he's facing 3 o'clock. That's not so bad. That's kind of what I wanted anyway.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Alright, last check. Failure attracts a bonus. Great. So now those missiles are going to hit us even more. That's cool. You know what that means? That means that the stream gets off to a nice...
fiery start.
Yeah, a nice lively start here.
Oof.
And sometimes these streams take too long, but I don't think this one's going to have that problem. Alright, I'm just going to put down that +2 fail bonus applies to both aircraft, sadly for me.
Yep.
Alright, those two were coming at the nose target, at the frontal fire arc of MiG number 1.
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty, so, alright, that completes our movement, because I suck. Test for maneuvers, check for tailing, half move, turn, yep, apply speed changes. Okay, are you going to increase or decrease anything, any of your speed?
I'm going to decrease both by 3.
Okay, the max is 4, but you're good to go. Alright, I'm going to re-increase to 12. Make up some of my speed.
I think you put them in the wrong code.
Oh! Thank you. Okay, resolve missiles from last phase. Okay, resolve missiles from last phase. We're still in turn 1. Roll 1d6.
5.
Okay, one cruise missile comes in from off the table. It can either hit Gecko number 1, Gecko number 2, or the ground target. Roll a d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
3.
It hits Gecko number 1 down here in the south. Boom! That Gecko's no longer there. It just got hit by the U.S. Navy. Oh boy. Okay, let's resolve missiles from last turn then. I have a missile coming at you.
Yep.
That is an AA-10. I only have to get lucky once. Oh. It hits on a 5+. It is semi-active radar homing. It is coming at you from the front. So that's a -1. A semi-active radar homing or active radar homing missile fired from target front. That's -1. Launch at long range. Head on at 0 to 24 beyond. Oh, that's if... No, we're well within range.
Yep.
Inside below minimum range, no. Without a lock, I did have a lock. You did no maneuvers to break that off. Okay, I'm assuming you're dropping a chaff.
Yes, I will.
Alright, cool. You have 8 chaff. I don't even know if we should even track it, but just for fun, let's go ahead and track it. Oh, damn. It was actually number 2. Actually, I'm going to make this like C. C, you fired off 1 chaff. We're not even going to come close to running out of chaff in this game, but just in case, it turns into a long meat grinder. Again, it was number 2, stupid. Alright, cool. Fired off 1 chaff. Okay, so now that went up by 2. And my normal chance to hit on that missile is a 5+, I believe. Please tell me it's a 5+. I have to roll a 7 up. Oh boy. Give it to me, doctor, please! Uday Hussein is going to throw me one of his wild, drug-fueled sex raves if I shoot down an American plane. Uday, I'm doing this for you! That's a hit. That is a hit. Awesome. It's a pretty big missile, but it might not shoot you down all at once. Okay. AA-10 Alamo, or the R-27R, the actual Russian name for it, is 2d6 damage. Your plane has damage points. Oh, sometimes I made this too small. 8 damage points. Alright, cool. Dice time. It would be fun if Riskin could win one of his own games just once. That is 8 damage points. That is an F-15 shot down.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay. Now, that's okay. He's about ready to blow one of my MiGs out of the sky. Boom. Alright, now we do your missiles from last turn. Okay, your missiles hit on those were Sparrows, medium range air-to-air missiles. They also hit on a 5+. You are good pilots. It goes down to a 4+. +1 for shooting at the target front, or back up to a 5+. In other words, -1 +1. I'm gonna cook off some. Oh wait, no. Hold on. Turn on the camera. Okay, I'm just gonna start counting dice. All right, guys, count the dice with me. Let's see what's going on here. He has +1 for good pilot. He has -1 for shooting at target front. -1 for the chaff. I'm gonna drop. All right, yeah, because the MiG-29s also have chaff, so it's the same. I didn't have this, so he's firing at +1. However, he gets an additional +2 because I failed that maneuver. So basically, my plane is struggling against a stall. It's not really maneuvering at all. It's just kind of like, trying to regain control of the aircraft. So he's firing at a net +3. He starts off at a 5+. Now he has to roll a 2+, and he gets 2 chances. 2 chances, 2 D10s, 2 pluses, sir. At your convenience.
A 5 and a 3.
Those are 2 hits. Sparrows, I believe, do 2d6 as well. It's a very comparable missile, apparently. Okay, so 2d6s, and you're actually rolling 4d6s. And I am. The MiG-29 is a much smaller plane. I only have 6 damage points.
So the first one I got a 4, a 1, and a 3.
Okay.
So I got a 1 and a 3, and the second one a 1 and a 6.
All right, so he potentially survives the first missile. The second missile, not so much. Okay, so what was your total number of damage?
7. So 11.
11. So you exceeded me by 5. The reason, it doesn't matter if the plane's shot down. Same with yours. But the difference is whether or not the pilot punches out. It's a 3+. Neither plane has a hazardous ejection special rule, so both planes just roll a D10. They need a 3+. However, you modify that by the amount you exceeded the damage roll by. I just barely made yours. I got exactly 8 out of 8. So your plane was hit, like one engine flamed out, it sputtered for a minute, then it blew up, and then the other engine blew up. This all took like 3 or 4 seconds. The pilot's got a pretty good chance of pulling that ejection lever in time. You basically have to roll an unmodified 3+ on a D10.
Oh, 1.
Oh, it hit right in the cockpit. Okay, that is it for that. All right, we have definitely changed history here. And now my guy has to roll a 3+. However, Dylan exceeded the damage roll by 5, or my damage points by 5, so I have to roll an 8+. I believe we killed each other here. 8+. Yeah, he didn't make it either. So historically, there was one air-to-air kill in all of the Gulf War. It was a U.S. Navy F-15 off of USS Saratoga. The squadron was VF-81. It was taken up by a MiG-25 Foxbat of all things. I'm not really sure how that happened. But yeah, the pilot was killed in the cockpit. He did not. Lieutenant Commander Mike Spiker. I really apologize if I'm getting his name wrong. But I knew it was USS Saratoga VF-81, an FA-18 over Baghdad by a MiG-25. First couple of hours of the war. The only Gulf War MiG-20 air-to-air kill. According to most sources, there is another Tornado, that's one of these British planes, that was taken out a little bit later that same day by what they call a maneuver kill. Basically, a MiG, or it might have been a Mirage, I think it was a MiG, loosed a missile at him, and while he was turning, he was really low altitude, he wound up hitting something. I don't know why they don't consider that an air-to-air kill. I know Western Air Forces, the American Air Force, everybody else, do call that kill. They do get the pilot the credit for the kill. They call it a maneuver kill. But, yeah. But anyway, so there's possibly 2, depending on who you read, historically. Alrighty, so that's 2 planes shot down so far, and 1 ground site taken out. We resolved missiles. We're now going to launch new missiles. Okay, are you launching any missiles from your remaining Eagle?
Yes, I will.
You definitely have the remaining MiG in, whatchamacallit, arc. In missile arc. I don't even have to measure it, I can tell just by looking. But for benefit of the chat, it is described by that arc right there. 60 degrees. Okay, you've got more Sparrows, and I think you're maybe within range for Sidewinders at this point.
I would like to put a Sidewinder into it if I could.
Let me see if you're within range. Sidewinders are definitely more accurate. Range out to 22 inches. I think you're close enough. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, Sidewinders away. Alright, those things lock on really easily. 5+, I believe. No, I think it's 3+. Lock on for a Sidewinder is a 3+.
Okay. A 10.
That's it. You got them locked. Alright, short range air-to-air missile on the way. Psh. Alright, nice. I'm not 100% sure if I'm allowed to fire missiles, because my guy failed a maneuver.
I think you still can. You might just take that negative.
Oh, you know what it was? Because we ran across this rule before. It was a stall. I couldn't fire a missile out of a stall.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Alright, cool. Alright, I believe we're close enough for my short-range infrared missiles as well. That is the AA-8 Aphid, 3+. Yeah, 18 inches. Ooh, maybe not. Oh yeah, we're within range. We are exactly 13 inches away from each other, so I'm in range as well. 3+. 5. There we go, with another short-range air-to-air missile.
Nice.
Okay, cool. So, did I already lose that? Oh, alright, so you're putting one into my target aspect front. You're putting one into my target aspect front. Our to-hit numbers are pretty good on both of these missiles. Hitting a aircraft from the front with a infrared missile is tough, because obviously you're not looking at the engines. But again, this is 1991. Try this shit in the 67 war or the Falklands War. You're going to get some very, very different results. The poor Argentinians, man. I still have nightmares about those games. Just watching Harriers.
And you blew up an aircraft carrier.
Well, yeah, but that was that was a totally different game.
Who's having nightmares here?
Yeah, but come on. What was the aircraft carrier even doing there? I mean, that game was to make me feel better. Because I spent 2 weeks just watching Harriers mow down wave after wave of my poor Mirages. They were going down like TIE fighters, man. They were just getting destroyed. Okay, cool. So we've launched new missiles. What are we looking at here? Launch new missiles, air-to-air gun attacks. There's none of that. We're not close enough for that. Resolve ground fire. I don't think so. But let me just keep an eye on this. 16 inches. Then you've got problems. Nope. You're close. So putting the dot right there on the blue dot, you are 18 inches, maybe 19 inches away from that second Gecko battery.
Ooh.
Yeah, be careful of him. Now again, he locks on a 3+, I think. I think they hit on a 6+, and they're infrared missiles, so they're not like, but he can launch 2 at a time.
Okay. Okay.
But now that his buddy down here is taken out, you could, maybe loop to the south. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to think about that.
Yeah. The long story short, take your first shot. Like I was saying, the Iraqis have to get lucky once, and yeah, I got lucky once. So we'll see what happens. I think that concludes the turn. Oh, technically, MiG number 1 did fire off a chaff. Let me keep track of this. I don't think the game is going to last this long, but you never know. Alright. Assess. We did assess the damage. Stall. No one's in a stall. No one's taking overspeed. Everyone's still. You've more than enough to avoid taking damage from the whatchamacallit. Okay, now we're gonna go to the next turn.
Cool.
Okay, this time we're going to do it right. So, apply speed changes. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and try to speed up again. Oh, I've lost one plane. What am I talking about? Format cells, pattern. Oh, dude, what am I doing? Who cares? What? There it is. Alright, cool. You can barely tell the difference, but okay, now we know those two planes were taken out. He's going to try and increase his speed. We're back at the top of the turn, so by the first phase of the turn, first segment, whatever you want to call it, that's going to be, so we're back up to 4 acceleration. I'm going from 12 to 16. How about yourself, sir?
Ooh, I'm going to go up to 12.
Sweet. Okay. That no longer applies, thankfully. Clean up the table a little bit. Now we're going. Okay, we've done speed changes. Now we're going to place maneuver cards. All right. So if you're going to declare any maneuvers, I'm just going to write them down super fast. Kind of keep me honest here. Okay. Are you going to declare? Well, don't tell me. But if you're going to declare any maneuvers, just take a quick note of it.
Yeah, I am. Yep.
All right. Now we roll initiative. It's 1d 10 per plane. You add 1 to your roll because you are a good pilot.
6 goes to 7.
7 goes to 7. We are tied. Let's do a tiebreaker. I get an
8. 3.
Alright, cool. So I will win initiative. That is going to be, we'll just call mine an 8, and here's a 7. So I won the tiebreaker. Alright, cool. So, cool. Now we test for maneuvers. Okay, you're going first. Were you declaring any maneuvers?
Yes, I was. Yes, I'm going to do a barrel roll.
Barrel roll! That is an easy one for you. Alright, so a barrel roll is... You move half the distance at 60 degrees to your flight path. You basically side slip one way or the other. You lose 4 points of speed, no change in direction. It does give a bonus against any incoming fire. You're harder to hit. Okay? The normal roll is a 5+ on a D10. The good news is you are a good pilot, so your number goes down to a 4+.
Okay, let's go.
4+ on a D10.
I get a 5.
Sweet, you made it. Alright, cool. So your normal speed is, right now it's 12. So you're going to move forward. You're only going to go 6, but you can side slips up to 60 degrees, either way, left or right.
I'll go left and the full 60.
That is 15, 30, 45. Oh, you said left, sorry. Yeah, that was right. Left.
Oh, no, yeah.
Alright, so he basically, you guys know what a barrel roll is. You've seen it in the movies. He pretty much just kicks up his rudder and not his rudder, his ailerons, and or his elevators, I should say, and he does basically a long extended corkscrew. So he goes up and he goes down. That does cost him, what did it say, 4 in speed?
4 speed, yep.
He's down to 8. Trust me, that's the better version. And because he succeeded in that roll, he now gets a... Where is my +2? Oh no, I thought I had a +2 counter. It's okay, I can make one real fast. So now my missiles are probably, or my missile singular, has a much tougher time to hit them. Sweet. Okay, I was also declaring a maneuver. It's my favorite maneuver to fail at, the Immelman. But damn it, if I actually do it, Immelmans are great if you can pull it off.
Yep. Yep.
Split S's are also not, the split S is basically an Immelman in reverse. You're just losing altitude instead of gaining altitude.
Basically,
So,
if Jim gets an Immelman, he can face in any direction he wants after move. He can get behind me.
The chat has no idea how a successful Immelman works because I don't think I've ever succeeded at one.
I'm just looking at the card here, and I'm like,
when it works, it's beautiful, especially at close range. When you're trying to set up a gunnery shot, yeah, it was invented by a German fighter ace. I think it was Max Immelmann. Was that his name?
Max Immelmann, yeah.
Yeah, in World War I. It's a great way when you get, like for biplanes, when you get up close, and you got to get a close range gunnery shot, which is kind of what we're aiming at here. It is beautiful, but good God, man, to make it work. Again, I need a 6+. They're not that hard, especially in high-powered aircraft, which we both are. I'm just terrible at rolling these dice. All right, 6+. Here we go. An 8. I finally made an Immelman.
Hey.
Holy crap! Bang the drum and play the pipe. All right, maneuver. Successful Immelman. I have to refresh on how a successful Immelman works. Moves up to half the distance. This is where I screwed up those games against Bill when I was playing my Mirages. Up to half the distance. And then it can be turned in any facing. My speed is reduced by 5. So now Immelman, guys, for those who may not know, is you stand your plane up on its tail and you kick in your afterburners. And you basically go ballistic. You go straight up. And while you're going straight up, you kind of can rotate, corkscrew, any way you want. Like any plane can, you know, just a pitch and roll kind of thing. What you're trying to do is aim your canopy directly over your pilot's head in the direction you want to end up. When you reach a certain altitude, you roll over on your back. Again, super easy. Planes tend to roll upwards, you know, a positive G-turn. And now you're on your back, you corkscrew again, you reorient yourself with your horizon. And because you were able to corkscrew any direction you wanted to when you were making that original ascent, you can point anywhere you want in a 360-degree arc. It's a great way to reorient your aircraft in any direction. The problem is you have to pull it off. So my speed was 16, so I move 8 inches forward. I was moving directly east. And now I can point, or up to 8 inches. Now I can point any which old way I want.
Yep.
I can't imagine why I would want to do that. That missile is still coming at me, though. The bad news for me, I don't think it applies a bonus. Nope,
yeah,
it does not
just
give a bonus. That's because, yeah, you're going straight up, and then you're losing some speed. It doesn't help, you know, give you any kind of defensive bonus. Because you're dropping too much speed.
Yep.
No worries. Hey, at least I might get a gunnery hit. That's if that missile doesn't blow me out of the sky first. Where's the turn sequence? Resolve missiles. Yep. Resolve strafing attacks. Yeah, I think. Let me triple check the turn sequence. Yep, air-to-air gun and rocket attacks takes place after missile attacks. So that missile might shoot me down before I get my gunnery attack. You may have dodged a bullet on that one, literally.
That'd be nice.
Alrighty. Yeah, because you're getting a missile and a gunnery attack in one turn. It's amazing what happens when I know what I'm doing and I can actually make a roll or two. Okay, I think that completes our movement. We've applied our speed changes from our maneuvers. We're all good.
Yep.
Oh. Okay, no worries. Fire segment. Resolve missiles from last phase. Ugh. Okay, we're now on turn 2. Roll 2d6, and you're looking for 4-ups.
Yeah. A 4 and a 5.
2 tomahawks come in. Because they both rolled 4+. There's only 2 viable targets left. There goes the rest of the Iraqi ground defenses. They never got a shot off. Nice. The Navy calls you on the cockpit. They say the way is clear. The guns, they've stopped. Yeah, no shit, they've stopped. Okay, Gold Leader, you're starting our attack run. Okay. Sweet. So here we go now with a resolve missiles from last phase. Okay, I have a missile coming at me. A Sidewinder down the front. I'm firing off a chaff. I'm sorry, a flare. That's going to help me. Hit on a 2+. Come on, man. American technology. I guess when you spend $2 trillion a year on your military, you get some neat toys. Okay. That's actually not true. I think our defense budget is like 800 billion a year or something. We're coming up on $1 trillion. We'll get there sooner or later. Okay, so an IR missile coming from the front. First of all, pilot's skill modifier, that's +1 to you. So now it's a 1+. I'm going to keep track of this on the camera.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of modifiers here. I want to make sure I get it right. So 1 to you because of your skill. 2 for me because you're firing an IR missile from the front. Did not launch within minimum range. You had a lock. I did not do any kind of a thing that gives me a bonus. I did fire a chaff. Flares versus IR missile. That's 2 more for me.
Yep.
I think that's it. No decoy system. Not at low altitude. No barrel roll. Okay, cool. So that is a net -3. You have to roll it was a 2-up. Now you have to roll a 5-up.
7.
Boom, that's a hit.
Nice.
And a Sidewinder, I think that's a 1d10 damage. 1d10 damage for a Sidewinder. Roll high.
5.
5, that's 5 out of 6. The plane is crippled.
Ooh.
So he's not quite shot down yet, but he might as well be. In fact, I think I'm falling apart because I've now... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to fall apart just from speed damage. Okay, my missile coming at you, meanwhile. That is the Alamo. No, I'm sorry, that's the Aphid. Hits on a 3+. However, I have all the same penalties you do, except I'm not a good pilot. So, therefore... Oh, you're firing off a flare as well, I'm assuming. So,
yeah.
Therefore, we have, instead of a 3 net bonus, I'm sorry, a 3 net penalty, it's going to be a 4 net penalty. I roll against a 3+4, I need to roll a 7-up. Oh, God. Damn it, am I trying to count all that right? Yeah, 7-up. A 6.
Ooh.
Dude, I missed you by the coat of an extra coat of paint. Oh.
Just a bit gouged down the side from one of the fins.
You saw the missile go right by your canopy.
Ooh.
Alright, that's cool. Oh crap, you know what I forgot? You're -2 for defense. I missed you by a mile. I knew I was forgetting something. I needed to roll a 9+. You get a +2 bonus for your barrel roll. I totally forgot to put that in. Sorry. So my roll was actually a 9+, so instead of a 7+. So yeah, I definitely missed. Alright, cool. Now it's time for my gunnery attack. Which is... Yeah, now. Except I'm still pretty far away, and I'm firing at full deflection. This isn't going to be that awesome. I am 5.5 inches away, so I think that puts me at medium range. My hit number is thus 5+. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. I get no pilot skill bonus. I'm unloading my guns. So plus 2d6. Firing from target beam, which I am. That's negative 2.6. So I'm back down to 0. Target is stalled. Target is nope. Target is firing from target front. Target performed any successful maneuver except unload. Yes. Okay. Oh god. Alright, so my guns start at... My guns start at 66. I had to cut that in. I had to subtract 2 from that because of... or did I? Hold on. I start off at 66. I get plus 2d6 for a sustained burst. I lose those same 2d6 because of firing from target beam. So far, no penalties, no bonuses. But you did perform a successful maneuver that cut my dice in half. All right, now I'm down to 3 dice. 3 dice, 5 up on d6s. Alrighty. I got 1 hit. We're hit, we're coming apart. Voodoo 1 at 090, I'm going down 150 miles. Hollywood's been hit. Okay, now gunnery does... I think it's just 1 point of damage, right?
Let me check gunnery.
A gun attack uses 1 burst. These are different. Yep. Each die that hits causes 1 hit number or higher. Target's range causes 1 DP of damage. Cool. So you've taken 1 point of damage out of your 8. F-15 is a big bird. Now I get to roll a d10 on the additional damage table.
Yep.
A 5. That is missile system KO. No more missiles may be fired. Oh no, you've lost all your missiles. I don't think you may need your missiles anymore, but you've lost no more missiles.
At least you didn't roll a 7. A 7 would have won you the game.
Well, I've technically already won the game, but yeah.
Oh,
that means that you don't get to bomb the target.
Yep.
Yeah, that's terrible. But no worries. And I did not roll an 8, so I don't go on the golden BB table. But yeah, no more missiles.
Ooh, that's not good.
Missile system is KO. Alright, cool. But you're nowhere near crippled. Crippled is half your damage points. You start off with 8, your 4 points of damage is crippled, you're nowhere there yet.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Speaking of crippled, now we've done all the gunnery and stuff. Assess damage, we did that. Attempt stall recovery. Okay, excess speed damage. My normal top speed. Now my plane is crippled. I am at 5 points now. That is what you rolled on your.
Yep.
Oh crap! You never rolled additional damage for you. Roll 1d10 on the additional damage table for when your missile hit.
Oh, okay. 5.
5. You knocked out my missiles.
Oh, cool.
Alright, cool. So now I'm and I just blew out most of my ammunition. I used to use 3 gunnery ammunition points out of my... I used to use up half my ammo. That 1 gunnery burst. So guys, when you're taking a gunnery shot in this game, you can either do... oh, it's right there, sorry. You can do either a short burst, medium burst, or a sustained burst. You get much better chances to hit. It uses most of your ammo, obviously.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to finish up this turn, and then I'm going to stop to check out the chat here. Because there's one thing left, because neither of us are in a stall. However, there could be excess speed, which may end the game with us. Excess speed. Okay, so I'm ooh. Fulcrum has a maximum speed of 26. My maximum speed is now 13. It gets cut in half when you're crippled. Am I doing faster than 13? No. That slowdown from the implement saved me.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so my plane is literally flying on a wing and a prayer. It's got 1 damage point left. If I go to 14 speed, my plane will literally fall apart in midair. It'll literally shake itself apart. She's on fire. She's in fact, let me go ahead. Do I have those here? Yes, I do. Let me go ahead and put a little flame on my plane here, because it's all kinds of screwed up, just for fun. I'll make it nice and big. Are you gonna keep fighting there, Mr. MiG, who now has no missiles and his guns, and he only has half of his guns? Oh man, yeah, that's him. All right, cool. All right, and that's going to complete turn 2, part 1. Let me check out Mr. Chat and see what's going on here. Can the cruise missiles be shot down? Okay, we went through that. I did not know that about plenty of cruise missiles being shot down. I did not run across any of that in my research. But cool, thanks for the heads up. Just won my eBay auction a Vietnam PBR riverboat for my miniatures, $50. Oh, yeah, the PBRs are awesome. You're going to be playing that in 3-Corps sector, right? If you watched our Op Center episode on battlefields of Vietnam, I think that's part 2 of our Vietnam series. We go through all 4 of the core sectors and we say, look, if you want to play Australians in your Vietnam game, do not play in 1st Corps sector, because there were no Australians up there. There were lots of mountains, there were no rivers, there were no tunnels. Okay, go down to 2nd Corps sector, the Central Highlands. Do not play your rivers here, do not play your Australians here, do not play your Marines here. They were all in 1 Corps sector, and so on. And of course we found that while there were a lot of rivers, obviously, in 4th Corps sector, the Mekong Delta, and there is the river, the mobile riverine force, there really wasn't that much of a U.S. Army presence in the Mekong Delta. There was like 1 brigade. I think they call it 9th Brigade out of, I can't remember which brigade it was. It was a mobile riverine force. They formed it out of Task Force 117 of the U.S. Navy, and I think it was a brigade out of 9th Infantry Division. If you want to get serious about riverboats in Vietnam, that's going to be in 3-Corps sector, the river that flows northwest out of Saigon, straight through the Hobo Woods, straight through the Iron Triangle, and up towards War Zone C by the Cambodian border. A lot of river stuff up there. There's lots of rivers in the Mekong Delta, just not too many Americans. The 3-Corps sector kind of reverses that. Only 1 or 2 major rivers, but tons of Americans in riverboats. $50, hey, it's a good deal right there. Money, what they say, money won is sweeter than money earned. Good job. Alrighty. Let's see what's going on over here on Mr. Twitch. Twitch seems to be holding steady. Jen, we haven't had any problems on our Twitch stream, have we? Everything's good? And how is our sound doing? Is there any more of that echoing that we had before? There shouldn't be, but please check on your headphones when you get a chance. It's kind of too late now, but that was something that we had an eye on from our last game. That game where you played the Irish in that big British tank battle, Dylan? We had a bit of a sound issue on the recording there. It's okay for like the first half hour, then it gets really echoey for some reason. But I think I fixed the problem that happened there. Well, what's going on, Mr. Howard Wood? Yes, you really should tune in more often. Yeah, Howard's been with us for a long time, but yeah, he checks in when he can. Howard, thanks for coming back, and yeah, welcome to the stream. You've arrived just in time to see Oriskany finally win a game. Although I think I'm about to get tabled. But I've already shot down one F-15C Eagle, So I'm pretty sure that I have fulfilled the victory conditions for the Iraqis. I've definitely exceeded the kill rate that the Eagles had in the event of this actual dogfight, 17 January 1991. Okay, second half of turn 2. Okay, we're going to go ahead and apply some speed changes. I'm going to go. I'm going to tempt fate.
Ooh.
Whoa, 13. If I go to 14, I'll literally die. My plane is. So Howard, if you're just coming in, I have one MiG-29 left. I'm playing the Iraqi Air Force. I have taken 5 out of 6 damage points. My plane is on fire. I've lost my missile system. I have one gun left, and that gun is half out of ammunition. So, yeah, he's he might be heading home soon, because I don't think I'm going to shoot down the second F-15. I did clip him with guns. I've done 1 point of damage out of 8, and yeah, it's not looking so good for my Iraqis. Also, all ground fire has already been taken out. All ground defense installations have been taken out by USS San Jacinto. That is the CG-56. That's a guided missile cruiser in the Red Sea. San Jacinto actually fired the first Navy shots, to my knowledge, of the Gulf War. And here it is a couple hours later, and she's still unloading Tomahawks into western Iraq. So the cruise missiles is the dark blue line. That's their flight path. This was the flight path of the F-15s. The good news is I did get one lucky shot, and it was just, pretty much just luck. I did knock down one F-15. He absolutely blew away my other MiG. He basically killed it twice. But yeah. Alright, so any speed changes for you, sir, Mr. F-15? All ground defenses are knocked down. Are you going to make a run on that ground target?
Yeah, I'm going to increase speed by 4.
We're on the second half of the turn, so you can only go up by 3.
And then I'll move straight ahead.
Okay, so now we've done our speed changes. We're going to go ahead and place maneuver cards. Are you going to... Okay, well, don't say...
I've picked my maneuver. Yeah, I picked it.
Let me write down my maneuver, if any. Given the fact that I'm crippled... Okay, cool. Alright, now we roll initiative. I only have one plane left, so 1d10. A 1! I think you win. You automatically win.
Oh.
Because even
I got a 5.
Even if you roll a 1, you get a +1 because you're a good pilot, you would win initiative.
Yep, so I got a 5.
So 5 for you and 1 for me. I have to go first. Okay, cool. Now I reveal that I declared no maneuvers. Or I should say no special maneuvers. Howard's back in this chat. Okay, I'm doing 13, so it's going to be 6.5. Normally, a MiG-29 has extreme maneuvering. However, you drop 1 maneuverability class when you become crippled.
Yep.
So,
yep. So now you're maneuvering.
Ooh, I didn't really have that placed correctly. Okay. Oh, you know what throws it off? That stupid flame thing.
Oh,
right. It was fun to have it on there, guys, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that flame thing because it actually screws up the counter. It doesn't turn correctly. Again, my speed is 13, so I'm moving 6.5 per impulse here. I have a feeling he's going to be making a run on that ground target up there. That's the H3 Airfield. For people just joining the chat, the H3 Airfield, it's a semi-famous airfield that gets hit a lot in these wars. The Israelis bombed it in June 5th, 1967. I think they bombed it again later on in the war, in the 73 war. And the Americans and British sure as hell bombed the shit out of it in the Gulf War. Okay, over to you, sir. Are you declaring any maneuvers?
No maneuvers for me.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and move that down here. Your new speed is 11. So I'll get Mr. Turn Wheel out here. Get it oriented on your aircraft. Alright, there's your target. There's your little thermal exhaust port. Alright, Luke Skywalker, your speed is 5.5. We're gonna move forward to 5.5.
Yep.
Okay, any turns?
No turns. Let's go another 5.5.
Okay, did you want to execute the unload maneuver? We can retroactively go back and say, unload is basically you just get kicked. Oh wait, no, you don't want to do that.
I'll lose my
You'll rip your bombs off. Okay,
yep.
Cool. All right. Any turns after your second impulse, or you just head straight?
I'm just gonna head straight for it.
He's heading straight for it. Stay on target. Stay on target. Okay, that was a quick turn because there's no missile arc, there's no gunnery, no missiles in the air. All my ground fire has already been taken out. So good job, U.S. Navy, because he would be walking into one hell of a crossfire right now, guys. These geckos launch very nasty missiles, and then this ZU-23-2, that's a twin 23mm autocannon. Yeah, he would be running into all kinds of shit. But he's basically making his trench run now. The difference is Admiral Akbar has already blown up all of the guns before Red Leader makes his little attack run here. I've been dropping all kinds of Star Wars references today. I don't know why. Something about fighters makes me think of Star Wars. Okay, so we begin turn 3. There's no more Navy cruise missiles because they've literally destroyed everything that they can destroy.
Yep.
Again, for people destroying the chat, it's much more realistic for the U.S. Navy to be launching its cruise missiles at the hangars. However, what that does in the game is it makes the Americans win the game on a random die roll, and I try to avoid that. Okay, so turn 3, any speed changes? I think we're both near our maximum speeds.
Yeah, I'll just go up to maximum of 12.
Okay, the reason he's at maximum 12, guys, an Eagle's speed is actually like 26 or 28 or something. He's limited to Mach 1 right now because he's carrying external bombs. If he goes faster than Mach 1, which is 12 in this game, he will literally rip the bombs off the outside of his plane. So, AirWar C21 has that special rule. He is making a bombing run on this H3 target, which I do have the rules ready for. Okay, time to declare any special maneuvers.
I have selected one.
Alright, I have selected... Yeah. Okay, cool. There I go.
Okay.
Alright, now we roll initiative. A5, you roll 1d6 plus 1 because you're a good pilot.
6.
You win initiative. How good are you at praying? Oh no. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to me or him? 6 for you. I'm sorry, you said 6, right?
Yeah, roll a 5 plus 1 is 6.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I rolled a 5, stays a 5, so your good pilot bonus actually gave you initiative. Okay, I have lost initiative, therefore I go first. I now reveal that I have taken no special maneuvers because my plane is barely airworthy, so I'm not going to be doing anything crazy with it. 6.5. Normally a MiG-29 is extreme maneuverability, however I am crippled so I have drop one. 6.5. Alright, that's my movement. Over to you, sir. Your speed I think is 12. Are you declaring any special maneuvers?
Yeah. No special maneuvers for me.
Alright.
I'm just going to head straight for that airfield.
That is 6. And that is 6. Alright, cool. Again, I have no missile. Your missiles are out of arc for me. Oh, also your missile system's knocked out. My missile system's knocked out. So yeah, this game's gonna get very simple from here on out. Go through all the motions, actually settle, or settle the game by its full sequence. Phase 2 of turn 3. I'm assuming, yeah, I pretty much know what you're going to do. I pretty much know what I'm going to do. So let's just roll initiative. Yep. A 9. Oh, shit.
Oh, I only got 4 + 1 is 5. So.
Okay, you are moving first.
Yep.
Okay, I think to drop bombs, I think it says in the rules you have to be doing 10 or less.
Yeah, so I'm going to decrease my speed.
Decrease speed a little bit. Okay, it looks like you just want to make a light maneuver turn, or a low maneuverability turn to starboard. And you move forward the full 5 actually. While you're over the target, you have to be exactly on the target. The range for a bombing attack is technically 0. Bombs away. We'll get to that as soon as we get... Oh, and then you have to move your other 5 inches. So I think you fly off the table here, which is okay, assuming you hit.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, because you can't really turn in such a way where you stay on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And why would you want to? Because I'm assuming you're releasing all your bombs at once. It gives you the best chance to hit.
Gonna dump everything.
So not that it super matters, but my guy says, "Oh my god!" He's gonna fly over the target just in time to see him blow up. Yeah, so he's doing his best to chase you away. At least that's what the ground controller is going to see on radar. Hey man, MiG-29 number 2 is really trying. He's also the guy that shot down that one F-15. So I have a spot at Uday Hussein's pool party, everybody. Okay? Assuming that pool hasn't already been bombed by a stealth bomber or something, or stealth fighter. Okay, so yeah, the only thing left now is to actually bomb that, actually release ordnance on that, on those hardened hangars. Okay. The hardened hangars.
The only footage of.
Go ahead.
The only footage I've ever seen of Uday Hussein at a party is him just picking up an AK and just going off with it, and it looks like a pretty fun party to be at if you're that sort of person.
If you're that kind of a person, yeah. And I mean, he was a despicable human being, but his parties, I mean, he had the money and he had the status. If you're into, Miami Vice kind of stuff, pool parties at night, like the entire pool, there's hardly any water in the pool. That's how many bikini girls are packed in there. Coke on glass everywhere. I mean, it's wild stuff. If that's your thing and you don't mind hanging out with a sociopath, hey, go for it. But fortunately, he wound up, I think it was the 101st Airborne took him out. I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah.
He held up in a mansion or something. And...
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember the division that actually took him out. I'm pretty sure it was the 101st. I could be wrong on the division. It may have been the 82nd. I'm pretty sure it was one of our airborne divisions. Got him cooped up in a house, and that was the end of that. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we got, you're loaded up with Mark 82 glide bombs, or not glide bombs, Mark 82 500-pounders. There are 3 bombs to a pylon, 2 pylons, so you have 6 total bombs. Hence Mark 82 times 6. Everybody has seen the footage of that. Okay, range of 0, you're good. Rate of fire is unlimited. You release everything at once. It is a heavy target, so the chance to hit is a 13 plus on a D10. However, you get many bonuses. Number 1, +4 for bombing. That's the bombing radar on an F-15. So now you're down to a 9 plus. Let me go ahead and keep track of that on my little dice here. All right, you're now down to a 9. It starts out on a 13 minus 4. It's a 9 plus. You also get a bonus because of your pilot ability. Okay, that knocks it down to an 8 plus. Okay, 8 plus, and then you get a bonus for how many weapons you're actually releasing. Short, medium, oh, here it is, the bombing table. Pilot skill modifier, we got that. Each pair of weapons round down. You are firing or releasing 3 pairs of weapons, 6 total weapons. So that's a +1 for each of those. That is going to knock it down to 5+. Here are my little dice counter here. Low altitude attack, unguided weapons only. We didn't say what altitude you were, but you were making a bombing run, pretty much flying straight and level. We could say that you're doing light altitude, low altitude. The only things to worry about at low altitude is, number 1, you have certain speed limitations, but you're fine because you're already doing 10. You have to watch out for ground fire, becomes much more dangerous at low altitude. The Navy took care of that little problem for you. And there are certain special maneuvers that are very, very dangerous or straight out illegal at low altitude. It's tough to do a split S if you're only at 100 feet.
Yeah, that's probably not.
Yeah. You don't do any special maneuvers, so I don't see any reason why we couldn't say you were already at low altitude.
Okay.
So low altitude, now it knocks it down to a 3+. You have 1d10 on a 3+. Someone start playing the Force theme from Star Wars. You don't get to roll per bomb. It's one gigantic attack. The number of bombs in the attack has already been modified into each pair of weapons used round down. So we figured out the total number. It's a 3+. You have 1d10. Don't roll a 1 or a 2.
An 8.
Bombs away! All right, boom. 6 bombs have now hit. There's a way to do that. Gun, rocket attack modifiers, damage. Oh my god. Ground objects. Yeah, we got that already. Ground attack damage modifiers. Every 3 weapons used round down, +1. So you got 2 of those, so it's going to be a +2 on that. Light or medium target in a forest, jungle, rough. Nope, there's no light or medium target, so it's going to be a +2 modifier on your damage check. Damage check. You've hit it, now you just have to knock it out. 1d6, add 2 to the die roll.
Okay. 5.
5 + 2 is 7. It had 7 damage points. You have eliminated the target.
Ooh.
Barely. Well, not barely. You had 1 extra point. Yeah, I was expecting that target to get hit by 2 sets of bombs, but no worries. Yeah. One plane was able to do it. One plane was able to do it. A 4 would have also done it. You hit easily enough. It's a 3-up on a D10. The problem were just those 6 500-pound Mark 82s going to be enough to actually do the damage. Because again, these are those super hardened concrete, air hangar. They're basically bunkers for aircraft. But you did hit them precisely enough, and you did do enough damage where the hangar has collapsed in on itself. And you did lose 1 pilot. You did lose 1 aircraft. So that wasn't part of the plan. But other than that, the mission was a success, air quotes. Well, the mission was a success. It just, per the game rules, you lost an aircraft.
Extremely costly, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on, Sitrep Podcast? How you doing? Okay, let me see what's going on here. How good are you at praying, says Howard Wood. Oh, no. He did it. He barely made it. He scored the hit. The hit wasn't too hard, Howard. He needed a 3+ on a D10. The damage, he only had half of his bomb load, because he's supposed to be hitting that with 2 F-15s. So I kind of worked it out. I want to make sure the game is possible, but not super easy. So I try to sort of pre-engineer like what the target number should be and so on. So I tried to make it where 2 F-15s could definitely take it out. And 1 F-15 would have a 50-50 chance. And sure enough, that's what we had. And then he rolled a 5 on his D6. So yeah, good news on that. The second F-15... or actually the lead F-15, the wingman's one that got taken out. But the lead F-15 completed the attack. Ben reached out to him through the Force. He turned off his targeting computer, He switched off his targeting computer. What's wrong? Anyway, Red 5 releases weapons, and off he went. That was the end of the H3 hangars. The Navy took out the ground defenses, the SA-8 Geckos, and the ZU-23-2 ground-based anti-aircraft artillery, which pretty much gave F-15 Eagle No. 1, the flight leader, a straight shot in. Especially since one MiG-29 was literally blown clean out of the sky, and the other MiG-29, again, here he is. He was right on your 6, he was just too far away, and he has no missiles, and he literally has half of a can worth of ammo. He has 3 shots left. Basically, I have one more shot left, one more good shot, and I was never close enough. So, yeah, that part was good. Good job on that part. It was just, with the lost F-15, this technically gets chalked up as an Iraqi victory.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
For game purposes. Yeah. Rasmus says, I step away and did think you were talking about a weekend in Florida. Oh. Where is the parties? Oh, from Iron Eagle. I got you. I'm sorry, what was that, Dylan?
I think he means with the Uday Hussein party that you were talking about.
A weekend in Florida. I gotcha. Yeah, we're talking about Uday Hussein's pool parties. Yeah, that's going to be Iraqi pilot number 2 here. Is that number 2? Yeah, number 2. MiG-29 number 2. He technically, okay, everything's destroyed, so he didn't defend this installation. But against 2 F-15s from the U.S. Air Force plus a cruise missile, barrage coming in from a U.S. Navy cruiser over here in the Red Sea, yeah, there was no way that the Iraqis were going to actually defend that installation. It was just, can the Americans do it on time, and do it without losing any aircraft? Yeah, it was just one lucky roll. And then we also have, did I miss it? Did anyone do any international relations communicating? With Sidewinders and 20mm cannon, 23mm cannon, but no middle fingers. No middle fingers. The joy of catching up with the chat. Hey, that's my favorite part, man. It's always fun gaming. And it's certainly fun gaming with other people, especially nowadays when so many gaming clubs are closed. And let's face it, there are no gaming clubs near where we are. So if it's not...
Mine's opened up last weekend, but we don't know how long for or what we can do, so...
We had one nearby us that closed. Never mind COVID. It just went out of business. Way before COVID. It went out of business like 2.5, 3 years ago. And there's another one technically way out in Coral Springs. I don't know if they have a back room though. It's like a comics gaming store kind of a thing. Baseball cards, things like that. I actually don't know if they have an actual gaming table or a gaming room in the back. I don't think they do. Yeah, but that's like, it's almost 45 minutes for me to get there, and I don't know anybody out there, so I'd rather play with you guys, to be honest.
Yeah, it's fun.
Couple of Phoenix missiles, says Sitrep podcast. That would be on the F-14s. I'm pretty sure the F-14 is the only craft that can take or that can mount the Phoenix. Phoenixes, I can't remember the name of the missile. We featured them in our podcast, on our Ops Center that went up just yesterday. The Phoenixes are the missiles that you don't see in Top Gun. That's on the F-14 Tomcat. Full load is 6 of those. They're about $1 million and $2 million. Well, they were best back when they were producing them in the mid '80s. Nowadays, they'd probably be triple the price. $3 million per missile, but they're kind of worth every penny. These are long-range air-to-air missiles. So especially if you have a Hawkeye supporting you, like a Hawkeye electronic warfare air control aircraft up in the sky sort of supporting you, a fully loaded Tomcat with 6 Phoenix missiles can just pick out 6 enemy aircraft within 106 miles and say, I want him dead, I want him dead, I want him, and him dead, and poof, they all fly off, and then the F-14 lands and enjoys a cup of coffee. And somewhere in the skies, 6 people die. It's almost that automatic. Even if the missile doesn't come that close, it's such a large missile that by the time it explodes and throws its shrapnel everywhere, that enemy aircraft is probably going down. It's kind of game breaking. Like, why would you even have that game have that missile in an actual war game, okay, you just lose your first 6 aircraft. You know, okay, oh, you want to keep playing? You know, it would be almost as bad as that. But tactically and technically, historically, yeah, Phoenixes are definitely in use. I actually don't know if we still have them, because last I heard, I could be off on this, or I could be out of date on this, the F-14 was the only aircraft in our inventory that could carry it, and we don't really fly F-18s anymore. Or, I'm sorry, F-14s anymore. They're all being replaced by either F-18s, that's been going on for a while actually, and also the new F-35s, the JSFs.
Oh yeah, those things.
Yeah, that's going to be everybody's new carrier aircraft. Not only ours, but the British as well. That was the reason they built those 2 new Queen Elizabeth class.
Yeah,
carriers.
right now completely useless carriers until the aircraft get on them.
Yeah, which the Americans kind of shut down that program, and then the British are like, dude, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, over. Yeah, we built these carriers just to use these planes, and now you cancel the program. So I think they brought the JF stuff back anyway, but for a while there, the U.S. Navy and the Royal Navy were not exactly on speaking terms. Like 2012, 2013, you know, kind of near the end of Obama's second term, when that JSF program was either canceled or was threatened to be canceled. We did cancel the F-22. I think Trump brought it back because, you know, we need something to fight Decepticons with. Yeah, when the JSF came back, that's what's going to enable the British to actually use those 2 carriers. All right, guys. Unless there's any more questions on the chat, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Today was kind of a short one, but again, AirWar C21. I figured I tortured you guys with enough Panzer Leader last week. So we're going to keep this one kind of short. Yeah, AirWar C21 is a nice little game by Wessex Games. Let me go ahead and show the book cover here. Give credit where credit's due. If you guys are interested, this game is available on, I think I got this off War Games Vault. The PDF download was like $10 or something. Yeah, just try to get the 2nd edition. And if you want to get serious, also get the data annex. This is the data annex I have here. The data annex is just like 60 pages just of stats. And this brings in a lot more air forces, and it brings the timeline back all the way to 1950s. So you can do like these aircraft here, these upgraded Sukhoi Su-30s versus these Swedish Gripen air superiority fighters. You can do the most advanced, up to the minute, even near future, you know, badass stuff, all the way back to MiG Alley in the 1950s, and then back again. But you need the data annex to do that. The main book pretty much only covers the up to the minute stuff. It looks like here we have, again, Sukhoi 27 flankers up against 2 JSFs. Looks like British JSFs. So we were just talking about those. Those might be F-22s, I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, it's a great game. It's normally played in miniature, obviously. 1 to 300 or 1 to 600. Obviously for our purposes, we have to do it, you know, in a different format. But yeah, hope everybody liked it. Again, we did this because, again, we're literally on the 30th anniversary of these dogfights. These dogfights did take place January 16th and 17th, 1991. After that, the Iraqi Air Force was pretty much in the bin. What was left, they sent to Iran, of all places, in the very bizarre hope that they would be safe there. Given the fact that they just finished an 8-year war with Iran, I don't really know what they were thinking, but
they hate each other. Why would they do that?
They did not they did not get their aircraft back after the war. Iran says, you know, we're going to go ahead and hold on to these. I don't even know if the pilots made it back. They may have wound up in the basement somewhere with a roll of duct tape and a, you know, some waterboarding ready to go. Yeah, Iran and Iraq are not the best of neighbors, to put it lightly. Alright guys, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. Thanks very much, Dylan, for another great game. Thanks for helping out and pitching in, you know, with another weekend war game, helping us with our content. Yeah, congratulations on taking out that hangar. At least you got the mission done. Just, you know, keeping that F-15 in the air would have been nice. But other than
congratulations on blowing up an F-15.
Yay! Hey, that's hard, man. That's actually not easy, especially the way I roll dice. One successful Immelman. Finally managed to pull it off. I finally managed. I'm actually more happy that I pulled off an Immelman more than I shot down the F-15.